Man, oh man, is there so much news surrounding Xbox, the Activision Blizzard deal, Nintendo, NVIDIA, you name it, and Xbox is everywhere. I'm talking about they're going head to head right now with Sony, the EU, all the regulators. Everything that's going on right now is starting to take shape of what this Activision Blizzard deal and Xbox is going to mean for the future. Let's get into everything from the Nintendo deal, the NVIDIA deal, PlayStation, them talking and announcing things. Brad Smith, the lawyer of Xbox, is out there making a lot of moves, and I want to get into everything that's going down because there's a lot of information here. So let's get going because there's so much to talk about here. Let's get into it. Alright, so you know the drill. If you like the content, hit that subscribe button and that like button. And if you want to be notified on future videos, hit that small little bell icon. And if you want to go that extra mile to support the channel, hit that join button. All the support is greatly appreciated. Alright, so we know what this is all about. It's about the Activision Blizzard deal, it's about Xbox, and it's about how Sony and a lot of other companies outside of Sony like Google, NVIDIA, were not a part of the deal. They are actually saying that they want this deal to kind of fail, and they're going against a lot of the regulators and going against Microsoft. Yet, when you look at what's happening in the news today, Microsoft and their lawyers and Xbox have been very busy in the background, signing a lot of deals and getting a lot of companies to actually embrace this deal and show that they're going to be bringing Activision Blizzard and Xbox games onto more platforms. And in fact, I want to go into Jez Corden and what he had to say on social media because he's actually in Brussels and kind of covering this. So here's what he said on Twitter about the Microsoft deal. At a press conference in Brussels, Microsoft President Brad Smith just announced all Xbox PC games will come to competing cloud service NVIDIA GeForce Now. NVIDIA now supports this deal. Microsoft describes how Sony beats Microsoft Xbox market share globally to the tune of 75% versus 25%. In Japan, it's 96% to 4% comparing between the two. Now, I want to jump into this NVIDIA deal because for a little while, a lot of people were saying that NVIDIA was against the deal because of their cloud service that they have with GeForce Now. And Microsoft saw that and saw it as a threat to maybe block this deal because NVIDIA is a massive company. They have a lot of things going on. I mean, I own a 4090 right now, and I own a 3090, and a lot of people that I know own 3080s and so forth. They're big in the gaming market because of their video cards. And so Microsoft saw that and decided to sign a deal with them to bring all of their Xbox PC games to that cloud service. And so that makes NVIDIA a little more accepting of what this deal has to bring. And then they go into Microsoft and Sony and how they're dominating the market globally and especially in the Asian market with Japan and China and so forth. I mean, the disparity of 75% to 25% is insane. Sony PlayStation dominates the European economic area when it comes to market share of gaming. And funny enough, Jim Ryan was the person that was ahead of Europe before he took over PlayStation as a whole. This is one of the big things of why he beat Sean Layden out of the job. It's because he understood we own that market in Europe and I was the one that did that. So he has a lot of connections, personal connections within the European legislation, within the European markets. And that's why the deal is being fought off a lot in the European markets because of those relationships that Jim Ryan has. Yet Brad Smith went out there and talked about the 80% discrepancy, not to mention the Japan market of 96 to 4% compared from the two. That's insane to think about. That's a massive gap that Microsoft has been trying to close for the better part of 20 years. So we look at all of this and we understand that this deal isn't a monopolization. It isn't Microsoft taking stuff away from other platforms. In fact, when you look at what happened with Nintendo and Microsoft, it's about Microsoft bringing games to other consoles, which is what's talked about right here. Microsoft signs a 10-year contract to bring Xbox games to Nintendo console. Smith took to Twitter to announce the binding contract, promising to drop Xbox games and Activision titles like Call of Duty on Nintendo hardware at the same time these games hit Xbox consoles. The news comes as Microsoft's roughly $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard is put under the magnifying glass by almost every regulator imaginable. Brad Smith went to Twitter, and as you can see here, I put it on screen, this is the stuff he's talking about. And when you look at everything else, he brings this up to the European Commission. He says, with Nintendo, we're bringing Call of Duty to 150 million more consoles. that wouldn't have had it previously. He even brings up deals that the EU fought against in 2009 when Brad Smith describes a 2009 partnership with the EU to promote interoperability between Windows and other platforms like Google Documents, and how that deal was far more complex than what is going on with Activision. Brad Smith literally has the document for Sony to sign to get Call of Duty for 10 years here, ready and eager for dialogue with Sony. No agreement yet. We don't think it's reasonable or realistic for one part of the ABK deal to be carved out. On the topic of CMA divestiture suggestions, the future is cross-platform, great for developers, innovation, and prices, says Brad Smith. There's a lot to unpack that's happening today, but I will say this. Microsoft has been in the background working with Nintendo, NVIDIA, and probably other companies that are going to help make consolidations for how this deal is going to work. They don't want to take things away from people. They don't want to take things away from platforms. And if you look at what they're saying, the future is cross-platform. That's what Xbox has been going for over 5 to 6 years now. Everything is on PC, everything is on the console, everything is on cloud. And I'm talking about their first-party deals. And now when you look at it, everything for the next 10 years is going to be on Nintendo platforms. And everything on PC is going to be on NVIDIA with the cloud platform. There's so much going on that it's kind of insane that this deal is even being looked at now. Because nothing, and I mean nothing, the FTC has, the EU, or the CMA has a leg to stand on, because Microsoft have brought a lot of these concessions to the platforms and to the regulators to look at everything and understand that this deal isn't going to be blocking gamers or hurting consumers. Now, of course, there's some people that are asking if this is going to have price parity between Nintendo and Xbox, but when you look at the games like Zelda, the new one that's coming out, it's $70. So I'm not too sure where the price parity is going to work in. I don't know if Nintendo's going to be going more to the $70 games. I'm sure they are, because almost every platform and every publisher has. But overall, I think this deal is getting closer and closer to closing, and I think that we're going to find out in the next several months, probably by May or June, if it's going to close and these games are going to start dropping on Game Pass, because that's all of this is about, right? This is all about Activision. This is all about Call of Duty. These are all about the games coming to multiple platforms, and Call of Duty going to pretty much every platform out there, including Sony's PlayStation, which Microsoft wants to sign a deal with. And I think that them getting King and Activision and of course Blizzard is going to expand Xbox beyond anything. And I've already heard discussions of people talking about, well, what are they going to buy after this? I just say hold off on that. Let's have Microsoft look at this, get this deal done, get the Activision Blizzard deal done, and then hopefully by this summer we're done hearing about this. I think today was a big thing for Xbox. There's no concessions, there's no replies from the EU or any lawyers outside of this, so I'm kind of waiting for the answers of what they think Microsoft is doing. But when you look at the hard numbers, when you look at what Brad Smith and a bunch of other people have put out there from Microsoft, it's quite simple. Nintendo and Sony dominate gaming right now. That's just what it is. Steam dominates PC, and when you look at mobile, there's a lot of publishers and companies that dominate mobile, and Microsoft, to its credit, doesn't dominate any of those platforms. They basically say that they're third in console, they're seventh in PC, they don't even have anything in mobile. So Microsoft is really coming from a place of, we're not even in there to fight to become a monopoly. Overall, I'm excited to see this just get over with. I want to see the deal being done. I want to see everything moving along. But for the announcement that's happening this week, I think it's a good step for Microsoft. Let's hope this deal gets done, because I'm excited to see these games drop in Game Pass. Not to mention, I want to see Blizzard under new management, and I want to see Blizzard actually move forward and bring out some new IPs or bring out games that I love like StarCraft. But let me know what you think about this. Are you surprised that Brad Smith had this much stuff ready for NVIDIA and Nintendo? Are you surprised that Microsoft has been in the back making deals with a bunch of publishers, especially Nintendo and NVIDIA, and probably Google and a bunch of other people in the background? Or do you think that this was Microsoft's plan all along, that they took their time, they waited for the FTC, the CMA, the EU, everybody to kind of tell what they wanted, and then Microsoft acted accordingly? I don't know what it is, but I'm excited for this thing to be done with. But let me know what you think about all this down below, because that's what we're here for. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button to support us out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also follow me on Xbox Live. My gamer tag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. So right now, I've been playing a lot of Hogwarts Legacy, and I know this game has a lot of stuff surrounding it, but I have to say, it's one of the best games I've played in a very long time. It reminds me of Elden Ring. It's taking over my life. I have about almost 40 hours into it. I've done so many side quests, so many side stuff, and it's such an expansive world. I haven't even gone to the southern part of the map at all because I'm just enjoying the game. I'm going through the story, I'm doing a bunch of side stuff, and I have to say that it's one of the best games to come out in a very long time, and it's already contender for Game of the Year for me. I mean, this game is massive. It's very well done, and I have to say that the combat, the controls, the story, the characters are all so Harry Potter-like and in that universe that they did a very, very good job with it. But I've also been jumping into other games like, you know, Apex Legends, Fortnite, and a couple multiplayer games like Rocket League, and of course playing with my friends. But most of all, I haven't made that many videos because there wasn't that much news. And then today, bam, so much news in our face, there's so much going on that it's kind of overwhelming. And I know I covered it as fast as I can because I'm trying to get this out, but I have to say that I can't wait for all of this to just kind of go by us. I can't wait for this Activision deal to go through or not go through because I want to talk about some gaming news and I want to see what other publishers are doing because right now I feel like the whole gaming industry is kind of at a standstill until this thing is done and over with. Let's hope that happens in the next several months or the next few months, and let's hope that gaming goes forward because there's a lot of stuff coming out, and I have to say this year is the backlog year. There's a lot of games coming, and I'm just telling you, I'm not gonna be able to finish all of them. But let me know what you're playing. Are you playing something on your PS5, your Xbox Series X, your PC like I am, or are you on your Steam Deck, your Nintendo Switch? Let me know what you're playing because that's what we're here for. It's to talk games. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.